Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissach, licensed clinical social worker with Charitable Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And there's some of these organizations in our area, in our community, where I think people hear about it, but they don't necessarily know what they are, what they do. I'm very excited to talk to you a little bit today about Junior Auxiliary. And I'm very glad to have two ladies on with me to do that. Katie Porche, the Vice President of Junior Auxiliary of Houma. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, very glad that you're here. Sitting next to her, Ms. Felicia Wiltz. Thanks for joining us, Ms. Felicia.
Thank you.
And Felicia is the Assistant Public Relations Chair, again, for Junior Auxiliary. So for people that don't know, Katie, let's talk a little bit about Junior Auxiliary, what it is, and how long you've been involved.
Sure. So Junior Auxiliary of Houma is a group of women who are dedicated to serving our community through different service projects that we do every year. We have a particular emphasis on children in need, and so a lot of our projects revolve around children, women, families, those types of things.
Right. And it's wonderful. How long have you been doing
So
this?
I have been in 4 years.
Right.
Junior Auxiliary is a 5-year commitment.
Okay.
Unless you're like me and are going to be president your last year, so then you have to stay another year.
Right, okay. So it's interesting. You end up going 6.
That's right.
So president-elect.
That's right.
Very cool. So exciting about that. And I know Amanda being president
Yes.
and doing that, and we're so very glad for all the things that she does.
Absolutely.
And so
Amanda
dedicated.
has been a fantastic president for us. She is so dedicated to our club, but also to our community. She's a wonderful leader.
Right. And so, and again, following that kind of leadership helps you, right?
Yes.
Learning
Yes.
from how she's done things and in doing that. And so, Felicia, how about yourself? What is Junior Auxiliary for you, and how excited you are to do it, and how long you've been involved?
So this is my 3rd year.
Okay.
And unlike Katie, once my 5 years is done, I will be able to stay in if I want to stay in, but I will be vice president next year. So
All right, everybody's
So I get
moving
to
on
follow
up. I like
Katie.
that. See, I didn't get that right away, so I like it. Okay, so the transition,
right.
president at the end, and so an extra year, but you get to do it sequentially, vice president next year, and then following that being the president. I love that concept, by the way, because it really allows for you guys to stay very involved and kind of have different roles at different times.
Yes.
And it lets you stay connected.
That's right. And, being in a leadership role in Junior Auxiliary, you kind of get to see the different sides of JA. And so there's the admin side, there's the service side, there's the sisterhood side, and the friendship side. And so being able to be on the board and serve with someone like Felicia is really great because you get to experience all of it, and you really get a well-rounded kind of experience.
Yeah, and so listen, taking care of kids and focusing on what kids need and what families need and what maybe single moms need, it's got to feel really good. Felicia, how does it feel to kind of be a part of JA and what they do?
I think it's amazing. I know I focus a little bit more on the McDonald Children's Home side of things. I'm one of the chairs for one of those projects.
Right.
And going there and hanging out with the boys and just having them communicate and open up to you after a while of being there, it's just, there's nothing better. I tell everybody, if you want to know what Jay's really about, just go have dinner with the boys one Saturday and you'll 100% understand.
My wife and I were able to, and Kevin's a very good friend of mine. So Kevin and I go way, way, way back, even before college. So we've known each other for a really long time. And so getting involved with them, I will have to tell you, I could not agree more. We've been able to kind of bring and do some donations and bring some stuff and help out, and just spending a little time with them makes you realize that organizations like JA are making a difference.
And we
that's
also
just really cool. Go ahead.
We also do the girls' home as
Right.
well at McDonald's, and so same thing. It's they're a little scary at first because they're teenage girls. And I was a teenage girl, so I know.
You have, speaking of good
that's
insight of
right.
all the different aspects of JA, you got good insight into what it's like to be a teenager.
But they are, they welcome you into their home. They love when you go. A lot of the times we're just spending time. We're not spending money. We're not, doing anything extravagant. We are doing a craft. We're having dinner. We're just hanging out, and that's really what they need. They need just positive, uplifting, responsible women, to sit and to be that role model and just take a genuine interest in them. And that's what a lot of our projects are, just taking a genuine interest in people in our community.
Well, and you're doing something that a lot of people struggle with, which is you're giving a gift of presence. And that's just, listen, I tell it to people all the time as a social worker, the greatest thing that we can do for someone in need, someone who's hurting, someone who's struggling, is to be present, and not only be present, but let them know I'm here.
That's right. Listen.
Yeah. I think very often people just want to be heard. They just want to be able to tell their story and feel like somebody cares.
That's right.
And that's what JA does.
That's right.
And they reach out in these different coordinates and coordinating a lot of these events to be able to do that. And so that's just really, really cool. And I love the fact that y'all have the opportunity to do that when it doesn't have to be some big event. It doesn't have to be anything other than just being there.
That's right.
Because people like that feel so disconnected, especially at McDonald's. They just, they feel kind of isolated. And that's one of the things that they try to do. And Kevin does a great job with he and his team about keeping them as mainstream as possible so that they can feel normal. And have that normal kind of childhood experience, and y'all help with that.
And we do the same thing. You know, we have projects with our Sweet Seniors project, which is going into nursing homes and assisted living homes. It's the same thing. They want your time.
Right.
And then also the Terrebonne Arc group homes.
Right.
We go into those homes as well, and they. More
really
than
brighten
anything,
up, right?
They love to spend time. They love to sit and gossip. They love to talk, and so.
And so, if you want to see the joy in people's lives, it's spending time with them. More importantly, about the kinds of things that y'all do, and just really listening to that about being present and spending time with the people that need it. Not only the kids, but y'all spend time with seniors as well in our facilities. I'm so fortunate and blessed to be able to do that. And then we were talking a little earlier about Night to Shine and about spending time with people living in LaFouche and spending time with Terrebonne Arc, and just being able to see just the love that people have and really spending time with them as they appreciate that is really cool. I like that. And one of the other organizations and groups of people that do so much for our kids is the teachers in our area. And so y'all have found a way to give this outstanding grant of $1,000 to a private school teacher, right?
That's right.
And so this Robert L. Morris Excellence Grant is for one of those teachers that really does a lot in the community. Y'all get to kind of select that person. Let's talk about this grant and how people can apply for it.
Yeah, so it is a $1,000 grant. It's open to any private school teacher, pre-K 3 through 12th, or a librarian, guidance counselor, as long as you're involved in the instruction of children who are doing something interesting in the classroom to get their kids engaged, excited, any kind of creative project that would just really get kids excited to learn.
Wow, very cool. So how do they apply?
They can go to our website, jaofhouma.com.
jaofhouma.com, and they can just look up the Robert L. Morris Excellence Grant. They can apply for it, and somebody's going to get $1,000 for one of the projects that they're doing. And I will tell you, I got a chance to, Stan Gravois is a good friend of mine, spent his most of his career in the school system, and just seeing and he was an art teacher. And so he was one of those people that really thought outside the box about how to help those kids learn and appreciate art. We've got some creative teachers in our area, and they really bring out the best from the kids, or they give an environment where they let the best come out from the kids, right? And that's really what you guys do kind of every day, is what these teachers are doing, right? Let's talk about some other programs that y'all spend time doing and how y'all spend time in our community.
Sure. Well, we just had our Crew of You project.
Right. I read about it.
Which is a Mardi Gras event that allows kids that have sensory issues to enjoy something that they most likely would not be able to enjoy otherwise.
Right.
Mardi Gras is full of loud noises, bright lights, and for a child with autism or anything like that, that's not really a place that they can go. And so we do an event where they can come in a quiet place. We do what's called a quiet parade. And so we pull them around in their little decorated wagons and they throw the beads to us. We have a bounce house and crafts. And so it's just a really nice way that they can enjoy this tradition that we have. In an environment that's suited for them.
And I can tell you one of those things, we even talked about that, this wonderful event that is done through Tim Tebow Foundation, this Night to Shine. A lot of those people are on the spectrum. And it was a little overwhelming for some of them, which is wonderful to really kind of look. It's kind of like the teachers in the school system, right? These private teachers who are looking at these creative ways to help them learn. That's one of the ways that y'all are doing it. To have this quiet parade. What a wonderful idea, right? I think all parades should be that way.
Right, yeah.
So
Listen,
you know,
I prefer
right?
a quiet parade
Right?
as
Exactly.
well.
And so that's just really, really cool. And I like the fact that y'all spend the time and energy to look for the types of events that are necessary to do that with.
Absolutely. And
Really
Felicia,
cool.
if Felicia wants to tell us a little bit about some of the grants that have won the last couple of years to get some ideas
Okay.
for teachers.
Yeah.
We've had some grant winners. They've got materials and supplies to learn different ways to get kids excited about math.
Which is hard to do, by the
Right.
way.
Definitely. 1 year, they got some art supplies and literature to kind of try to teach them about inclusion and diversity, which is always a needed thing, especially now.
Nowadays, right? Hot topic.
And then one teacher thought really outside the box, in my opinion.
Okay.
We gave her, she used a grant to get an incubator and chicks to teach the students about the life cycles and taking care of animals and that whole process.
So they watched them hatch.
Wow.
They hatched the eggs and then they raised the baby chickens.
Wow. See, again, so very cool to be able to see that come to fruition. Imagine what it's like over whatever amount of time that you're able to do that with an incubator and be able to see, you know, it brings chemistry and biology to
Right.
a whole new level, right?
right.
And so, again, just really inspiring those kids. And then imagine what it's like for those people that become farmers, right? Or they raise chicks, or, you know,
That
that's
might
just
spark an interest
Yeah.
that they didn't know they had. You know?
right, right. And so again, I think what's happening and what this grant helps do, this excellence grant, is that it helps inspire creativity to develop some opportunities.
That's right.
And so very often it's these kids that they're not sure maybe what they want to do, and thinking outside the box, thinking outside the incubator, right, allows people to really focus on some other possibilities that maybe they didn't know that they had.
Right. And I think a lot of people, you know, sometimes don't realize that private school teachers, they don't have a lot of money to use in their classroom as well.
Right.
You know, it's very similar to public school in that they're, you know, they need help to provide those things as well. And so
Yeah.
our grant is due March 6th. And so
Okay.
they can go on our website, jaofhoma.com. They can mail in their application. They can email it, and we'll accept them until March 6th.
Till March the 6th. I appreciate it. So, Felicia, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Vice President to be, President to be, Ms. Katie Porche, thank you very much. Thank y'all for what y'all do through and with JA, and thank you for what you do for our community. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that will do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. We got a whole lot more Bayou Time when we continue after this short break.